What's up, everybody? What's going on today? Man, I don't know if I have a charger. Do I have a charger? I don't know if I need one. So, I'm just checking in today. I don't really have any topic that I have in mind today. Let me log in. The huge. Let's see here. How is everybody? All right, here we are. All right, let's see. So we got 1 week left in the month, and so far, I mean, I know we've got a week left, but so far we're like, if I remember right, let's see if I could find these numbers. But basically, I'm doing a lot less in revenue than I did this month last year. But my numbers look pretty good overall, you know, as far as percentages in every category. So last year, I did 239,000. This year, did 123,000. So almost 10,000, no, 110,000 so far, less than last year. But we do have a week, and we'll probably do, let's see, just throwing out, just guessing, not overestimating, but just we'll probably do 35,000 this week, this upcoming week. Could do more, obviously, but let's just say we do 35. Plus, I am waiting on a $18,000 check that should have came yesterday, but I'm sure it'll come this week. So that'll be 53,000 if we have like a normal week, nothing crazy. So then, if that's the case, we'll be short 60K compared to last year, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. Because I feel like my numbers this month have been pretty good, considering the low revenue. And I don't really know why. What's going on? I think we just have a lot less. We started doing mowing every 2 weeks for the month of July and August. I think that had something to do with it, but I didn't really take a deep dive in it because all I've been doing this month has just been like we've been marketing like normal, like everything's good, but we haven't been doing big projects. That I do know. That for sure. And when I mean big projects, we haven't like taken out a yard, put a new one in. I don't know, just crazy big, you know, new flower beds, installations, big giant plantings. Well, we don't usually do that in August, and I don't know if that's something that's new or something Rachel, the garden estimator, didn't want to do compared to last year. I don't know. I haven't looked into all these things. I've just been monitoring every dollar that we've been spending. And so last year in August, my payroll labor was 38%. Damn. In August. Sorry, I don't know if I said April. I didn't mean April. I meant August. That's pretty crazy. And then this year, so far, my payroll is 67%. I don't love that. Well, okay, I had to give myself a check. I had to make myself an additional check this month because I had to give. I bought my son a car and I had to put a down payment. So I'm sure that has something to do with it. Let's see what it would be without that. Let's see. 64%. So yeah, it's still pretty high. Um, but I'm okay with the 60s, being the high. I'm okay with 60s being the high. I really am. You know more about grass than Trump does? That is hilarious. I caught that interview too, where he said um, he knows more about grass than everybody. And you know what's funny? My wife said, "Hey, do you think he knows more about grass than you?" And I did say, um, well, I don't own a golf course, so maybe he knows something that I don't know. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's hilarious. What's up, Jeff? Hope everything turns out good. Yeah, me too. Me too, man. That's what business is, right? It's like ups and downs, man. I'm reading this book called The Infinite Game. I read it a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago. I think it came out like just a few years ago. I think. Could be wrong. But when I first read it or listened to it, I wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean? The reason why I bought it was I went to a conference and Simon Sinek was one of the speakers, right? So I was listening to him, and I know I've read other stuff from him. I'm not really good at remembering who wrote what, but I'm pretty sure I've read Simon Sinek stuff. What's up, Griff? Nico? Been trying to call you this week. So I don't really know what like all the books Simon Sinek has read, but when I saw him give a talk, it was pretty awesome. And so he was talking about his newest book at the time, which was The Infinite Game, which is about. I keep getting all these texts now. Um, it's about thinking long term for your business, long term. All right, what's best for your customers, what's best for your workers, what's best for your business long term. So you're going to have like ups and you're always going to have downs, because if you're really thinking about your business in the long term of your customers, you can't think short term. So like, let's say, for example, let's say you knew that you were going to sell your business next year. You're probably going to make some changes that are going to make the financials look really good. But you can only do that for so long before customers start going, what the hell? Or your employees start going, what the hell? And your business starts to crash because you're maybe getting rid of your top performers and you're not paying as much and you're just saving, saving, saving. And a lot of companies do that to keep the shareholders happy. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know too much about this kind of stuff, but I do get what the infinite game is. So that's finite thinking when you're doing that kind of stuff, when you're trying to just make the numbers look good. And you can't keep that sustainable because you're going to lose all your customers at some point. And then you've got to like lean back and then, go back to the way things were when they were really good. And if you keep doing it that way, where it's like you're thinking about your customers long term, that's the infinite game, right? Something like that. So anyway, it was a cool talk. If you know Simon Sinek, ever heard of him? Like, can you imagine just being in the same room and he's just talking and you're like, wow, so I got the audio book, and I got to be honest with you, I was kind of bored. you know but then I thought, and I knew I said to myself, you know what, I'm just not ready to hear this yet. I'm not ready to hear it. So I was about halfway through the audiobook when I decided to just stop listening to it. And then I read another book last week, And I found out that Simon Sinek was the publisher of that other book that somebody else wrote. It was a really good book called, what's it called? Um, I always forget the name of this book. It is called Unreasonable Hospitality. Okay. So I listened to that book and I was like, wow, I really like this book. And so I started watching some YouTube videos about the author and stuff. And I came across one of the interviews where Simon Sinek was also in that interview, and he was saying that he was the publisher of that book. And I was like, whoa, I remember Simon Sinek, and I have an audio book on file. I never finished reading it, but I think I'm ready for it now. I think I'm ready to listen to it. So I started listening to it, and yes, I am ready. I am actually listening, and it's soaking in, and I get it now. It's kind of funny because I feel like I'm about where I was last time I listened to it. So anyway, and I don't know. It's not. I don't know if I have anything to really contribute or to apply from reading that book so far. But it does make you think about things, right? It's like so Simon Sinek in this book does talk about how you go up and down when you're thinking long term for your business, for your customers and your employees, because and that's kind of what happens with me a lot, because I do invest a lot in a good employee. I do invest a lot in my vehicles, in my assets, and it makes it hard. It makes things hard. You know what I mean? I've been tracking every dollar this year. Every dollar, man. And so much so that, dude, I was at a repair store, like to get my mowers fixed, and I got a phone call from the paint company that paints my trucks. And they were like, "Hey, I just found out that we never got $2,000 payment. It's actually $1,800. We didn't get an $1,800 payment from you." And I go, "Bull crap. Yes, you did. Like, I know you're good for it. We're not upset. We know you'll pay for it, so it's all good, but we just want to let you know." And I'm like, "No, dude, I paid for it. I was just talking about to somebody in my office about how much we spent on painting the trucks. And I know we paid you. We don't owe you nothing." And he's like, "All right, well, if you could show me proof, that's great. Otherwise, I know you're good for it and you'll pay me." And I'm like, "All right." So I looked up the first credit card that I would think that I would use to pay for that. I looked it up, typed in their name, boom, all the payments are there. So I forwarded that to him. And he called me back and he apologized. And I said, "Yeah, dude, I know every dollar I spent this year. Like, I know who I owe and who I don't, and I don't owe you anything. So we're good." And he's like, "Yeah, we're good. I'm going to put this in the notes, and yeah, we're caught up. All right, thanks." And that kind of pissed me off, to be honest with you. For all I know, I mean, what if I would have paid cash and I wouldn't have had proof? Because I'm really bad at getting receipts, to be honest with you. And when I do get receipts, I don't really file them where I'm supposed to, you know what I mean? So honestly, that's probably why I do pay with credit cards on most things, just so I could refer back to it if I had to. But it's just kind of like, what if that's like a scam that they tried doing? I mean, I honestly don't think he was trying to scam me, but you never know, right? I mean, if he's hurting for money, that could be a way to get some money real fast. No harm, no foul kind of thing. If I don't know, if I would have been like, "Oh crap, okay, here, let me send you some money." So that kind of bugged me, because actually the more, like, as it was happening, I was like, no, dude, I don't owe you any money, and I'm going to show you proof. And then when I sent him the proof, I was like, "Yeah, there it is." And then I went back to my normal stuff. But as the days went by, I started thinking about it, going, man, what if that was his way of trying to get money out of me? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it just kind of bugged me. Because how could I have paid and he not know about it. And not only that, it's like I pretty much paid when they finished the work. So it would have been really easy to find my payment. It's not like they painted it and I took it and then had it for months and then I paid them. Like I don't do that. And I don't think they would let me take the truck either. So anyway, that's just kind of bugs me. But whatever. The IRS kind of did that to me too, and I'm hoping they're going to pay me back. But what can you do with them, right? It's like they're saying that I didn't. They said I owed them $5,000 more. I started getting these tax letters in June, and I'm like, what is this? So I sent it to my tax. It looked like a scam. So I sent it to my accountant, and she's like, "This looks real, man. You need to call them." And I'm like, "But we paid it, right?" She's like, "Yeah, we did, but that looks like a real letter. So don't ignore it. Call them up, figure it out." I was like, "Well, I need you to call them and figure it out." So she tried doing it, but she just I got another letter. Basically, she didn't finish it. So or she didn't get through to him or whatever. I don't know. But I got another letter like 3 weeks later, so I thought, well, I better call. So I called and I talked to somebody, and they're like, "Yeah, you still owe $5,400." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I did my taxes. I have proof that I sent you the check. I have the check." She goes, "Yeah, you sent the money, and we have that, but you still owe $5,000 more." And I'm like, "How is that possible? I did my taxes." Like, she's like, "Yeah, from what the taxes that you did, you still owe 5,000." I'm like, so I mean, they had proof that I paid them what I said I paid them, but they're still saying I owe 5,000 more, which I'm still kind of like, I'm still really confused how that's even possible because I did my taxes. You know what I mean? Like we did the taxes and we got the coupon and we sent it in. So it's like I don't understand where that extra 5,000 comes in. So my accountant thinks that when we do our taxes again next year, we're going to get that refund. That's what she thinks. But it's still annoying. You know what I mean? Sorry, I've got this Zoom thing that popped up. Oh shit. I'm gonna try and get out of it. I'm always weirded out by like camera stuff on my computer. And it's installing. Anyway, what's up, Abigail? What's going on? Alright. I can't get out of here. Okay, quit Zoom. Alright. Let's see. So, oh man, I don't have a drink. Let's see, what's new? So, for the last, Kate, was it a good season for you so far? It's been like one of those seasons where it's like not been great. It's kind of like a season where I just have a job, where it feels like I just have a job. Like there's with all the stuff I've got going on with the city, with the new purchases that I did with the property and the trucks, my expenses have gone up. And even though we're pretty much maintaining or doing a little bit better than last year, although we're having a bad month compared to last year, we're still up compared to last year for the year. And it feels like I just have a job, you know? Like I don't have much control over the revenue. Like it's like it is what it is. It's like I don't know. So if that's I don't want to say that's bad because I have talked to a few people that I know that I call when I'm feeling kind of stressed. Like, like, I don't know how I'm doing this year. What do you guys think? What do you think? And I'll talk to them and they're like, well, are you still getting paid? Are you getting paid? Yes, I'm getting paid. I missed one check this year, but then this month I made myself a additional check because I bought my son a car and I needed the down payment and I didn't want to use like any savings of my own savings. So basically I really didn't miss a check if you really think about it that way. That's how I'm looking at it, I guess. So they said, well, that's good. Are you paying your bills? Yes, all my bills are paid. I even have almost enough for all of the bills next month. So things in that way, like I guess you call it the books. The books are looking decent. Everybody's getting paid. I'm getting paid. We still have great customers. We still have our big customers. Like things are good. I'm just spending a lot of money. I just had to spend a lot of money with the city stuff, which I'm gonna have to do again next year, and maybe even the year after. So my answer to that is I'm trying to bring on some really good talent so that we could do some bigger projects, and I'm thinking that will make, because we're good with the maintenance, you know what I mean? By the way, Kate, how's your year going? But we're good with the maintenance, right? That revenue reoccurring garden maintenance is phenomenal. Like we'll probably have more garden maintenance customers than we ever had. And it's going great. I feel like our garden maintenance division is really strong. And I would say that it's the strongest division, but my mowing division is very strong too. And my landscape division is amazing. The only thing is we're not bringing in all the work we want to do. So if we could like keep that crew really busy, we would be having a phenomenal year. But the last 2 months, so 8 weeks, have been really slow for that division. Instead of like making rash decisions and like, oh, we gotta, maybe we gotta cut that division. I don't, I don't even think that way because I know we have a strong team, and I just, you know what I mean. So I'd rather just keep them doing, as much work as possible, even if it's not much revenue, even if it's just basically breaking even with that division those weeks. I'd rather do that than lose out on that team because they're just such a good team. And I've been talking to other landscapers around here, and they're all pretty much going through the same thing. It's slowing down. It's definitely slowing down. But our maintenance stuff, our routine, regular maintenance is really good. Sprinklers is slowing down as well, but I've been managing to keep my 6 guys busy. If you really think about it, I've really been keeping 5 guys busy. One guy's been calling off a lot, and I've been good with that. So really, I haven't been worried about actually 2 of the guys. So I've been keeping 4 pretty busy compared to all the other sprinkler companies that I know about, the ones that I know and talk to. We're doing, as far as keeping our guys busy, we're doing about maybe a little better than them. And the only reason why I know that is because I tell them how many guys I keep busy, and it's like they don't have as many people, and they are barely keeping who they have busy. So I feel like we're doing pretty decent with that. Like right now, I have all of Monday pretty much booked, and that's pretty good for right now. I mean, I'll take it, right? I will take that, and maybe even Tuesday. Depends on if they get Monday's stuff done. But yeah, so I did try a new thing this week, and I feel like I loved it, guys. I loved it. So what I did was I spent all day, one of these days earlier this week, routing every single Mo customer I have for myself. Just got off work, Valencia Landscaping. Yeah, I put gas in all the trucks and stuff today. We had a grandstand that had a flat tire, so I got that fixed. Um, what I did this week was I routed all the jobs, all the mowing jobs, and I routed them in order for me to go check. For me to go check every single mow job. I only got through 10, but it's okay. I'm happy that I got to do that. And that was on Thursday. So what I did was I made a list of all the jobs that we did on Wednesday, and I put them on Thursday for myself to go check. And I only got through 10 because I talked to 3 customers. I'm not saying that's why I stopped. Actually, was it 3 or 4? I talked to 3 or 4 customers. Um, and I was just like, what can I do for you? Like, I'm looking at your yard. How's everything going? Do you need anything? And I got a few customers. One of the customers had a white vinyl fence that the hinges were missing to lock it. So I asked if I could fix that for her for free. So I talked to my guy who does that here at the shop. We don't normally do that as a service, but when one of our mow guys breaks something like that, he goes and fixes it. So I talked to him about it, and so he told me he can do it. The problem is, well, it's not a problem, but it's like the customer probably needs a new gate and post instead, right? So I talked to the customer. I'd been emailing her saying, you probably need a gate and post. This is how much it would cost if you want that brand new. Otherwise, I will just give you hinges for you, and we'll install that for you, no problem. I just want to let you know that we'll do that for you if you want. So I'm just waiting for an email, and I think I've been kind of going back and forth with her too much. Like, I should have had all that information at the beginning, but I kept telling her, yeah, I want to fix it for you. I want to do this. I want to do that. And she's probably like, dude, is he ever going to fix it, or is he just going to talk to me every email, But I'm learning, right? I didn't know like what it would be like to go to somebody's house and literally find something that I could do for them for free that was more than just what we normally do. Because I want to start doing that. I want to build some kind of loyalty with my customers because they don't know me. They don't know us. They know their mow guys sometimes, maybe, or their garden maintenance guy. So on that list of all the mowing that I did, that I routed for myself, I also put when their mow day is in the notes, who their mow guy is, so that I could send them a picture of the lawn if I feel like they're not doing a good job, or if I point something out, I can know who to talk to directly. And I'm going to talk to these mow guys directly. And then if they're a garden maintenance customer, who the garden maintenance worker is, so I could text them directly what I see on these properties. Also, if they're a snow customer, basically any service that we do, fertilizing customer, I put it all on there so that if I talk to a customer and I can see that they have weeds, I can tell them, hey, since you're on the program, I'm going to have them come back and respray this. That kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Just so I'm ready. And when I do the walkthrough on every property, before I get in my truck and go to the next job, I send them an email with pictures of their house and stuff that I noticed that could be better or that I think is really good. And so far, nobody has responded that I said there's something wrong. Like, there was a couple of lawns that were dry, like more than half the lawn was really dry and probably needs sprinklers turned on or something. Something was bad, right? So I took a picture of that area and I sent to the customer, hey, I'm doing a walkthrough. I just wanted to just make sure that the mow guys are doing good. And if you had any questions, I'm here for you. And I noticed while I was there that, your lawn is dry in this right hand side of your yard. Here's a picture. Um, Now, if it was a small dry spot, I'd probably say something like, well, I did say if you need me to, as a courtesy, to turn the timer on and make sure it's working, I can do that for you. Just reply to this and let me know. We'll schedule something. Or if you would like a full adjustment and us to go through all the zones for you, I'll give you a discount. You just have to reply to this email and let me know that you want the discount, and I'll figure out what best I can do, right? Because we're also slow, so I don't mind sending my sprinkler guys to do some free work during these slow times because it's helping our Mo customers build retention, right? So like if customers don't leave, in my mind, that's the same as making some money, right? Because if they leave, we're gonna need work for our Mo guys. We're gonna make less revenue, and if I could just keep my sprinkler guys busy, I'll pay them to do those easy stuff because I know it's not going to take them a long time. They're just going to go there, check the timer, or I will go there. I don't care. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing. And while I was doing that, I called like Jose and Rachel at different times, and I was like, "Hey, you're not going to believe this, but I think I found my calling because I really like doing this." And by the way, the Mo guys are doing an amazing job. I honestly thought when I first started doing these walkthroughs that I only did it one day and I only did 10 of them because in those 10, it took me 3 hours, I think. Yeah, maybe 2 hours. Maybe it was 2 or 3 hours. I don't know. So it takes a lot of time, you know. And I got the city called me. The city actually called me while I was in the middle of that. You know, because I'm working with them for the yard and all this stuff. You know, I had a Mo guy call me. I had the office call me. It's like I was also in the middle of routing, dispatching sprinkler jobs, right? So I would get notifications that I have to route a sprinkler job, and while I'm doing a walkthrough. So when I got back in my truck after I sent the email, I had to now, before I went to the next house, I had to route, you know, do my hotspot on my cell phone and on my laptop, and then schedule work. So it's not super easy, you know. I mean, it's easy. It's just a lot of time consuming, a lot of stuff going on. And then it started raining on me, believe it or not. But I still loved it. It was great because I got to talk to 3 customers, and it was cool walking the property with them, telling them what we could do. I had a customer who didn't know we weed. They did not know we weed. How is that possible? You know, the flower beds. And I was like, yes, we do. Like, let me get somebody out here. I took pictures of the flower bed and I sent it to the estimator. And I said, dude, he needs an estimate. So will you come and do it? And she texted him right away. And you know, we have a good thing going here. We just need to like utilize. We just need to like. I need to figure out a way to harness it all and make it all work better. Even though it's working pretty good, I think it works great. But for building retention with the customers, we need to know the customers. I need to know them. Let them know that we're actually trying to do a good job. Like, it's not easy to make your lawn look good if we didn't try. Like, you have to try to make lawns look good. And that's what I'm trying to get my customers to realize. That's why I'm doing this. So the hard part is I got through 10 on Thursday, which were Wednesday's mowing. And then Friday came, and I was supposed to do Thursday's checks, right? At least that's the best time to do it, is like right after they mow it, right? But I had to do a lot of maintenance on the mow equipment. I let my team do the mowing maintenance, you know, the mow machine maintenance, you know, like sharpen the blades, all that kind of stuff, for 2 months. And mowers started breaking on me. Okay, we had two mowers go down the same day, and it freaked me out. So I looked into it, and I realized it was because whoever's doing the maintenance, which I'm not blaming them, because even though I may have trained them in my mind how I wanted things done, if that's not something that you care about, you're not going to do a good job. You know, like when you're working on equipment, you'll notice when a bolt is loose, even though it's not, even though you're cleaning the equipment, you're paying attention to those things when you care, right? So I care about my equipment, and the people that are cleaning the equipment, they don't care about it. They're just doing it because I told them they'll pay them extra to do it, and they just want to hurry up and get it done and then go home. And I don't blame them for that. You know, it's like, I guess I could blame them for it, but I just don't, because just like when I have somebody help me do Christmas lights, there's some people that don't, they're just not naturally gifted at hanging Christmas lights. You have to, and there's some people who think they are, and then I look at them and they're like, dude, you are not gifted. I don't, obviously, I never tell them that directly, but you know when somebody is gifted. And I do not have any gifted mow equipment maintenance guys. Just don't have it. I have loyal workers for sure, and you can't replace that. And that's actually kind of like sometimes a downfall when you have such loyal people, but they're not doing a task that you want them to do. Great, because they're so loyal to you. You don't want to get rid of them because they're not doing that one task that you want very well, but they do so many other things really well. But you can't necessarily give that one task to somebody else, because it's like, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. It has to be that person. You know what I mean? I've been asked this probably a few times. I've definitely been asked a few times. I was going to say one of the most questions I've ever asked, but it's not. It's definitely not one of the most questions, because you have to have kind of like a leadership team, and a lot of customer companies that I talk with, that I'm friends with, they don't have like a leadership team, right? They have like, they're the boss and they have some good workers, but nobody's like the manager of a department, right? And that's usually when you have managers that are over departments, that's when you usually have strong loyalty. But that's when sometimes they don't do certain jobs great for whatever reason. So I've had people ask me, like, what do you do? And it's also hard to word, right? I'll try and do it now with you guys, but I might not even know how to word the problem very well. But the problem is, you have these loyal people who you expect to do a certain job really well, and they don't. But they do other things really good. And they're always there for you, and they'll take a bullet for you. And you know they'll work on Sunday if you need them to. So because there's this strong loyalty and will to help, but they just can't do certain things. Maybe they're bad managing people. Maybe, you know what I mean? Which is like, wow, it's like, wow, that's your main job, and they all hate you. Like, what the hell? Just, that's your main job. Not saying that's my issue. It's not my issue with my people, but I'm saying there's things like that. There's also, I've heard, I'm trying to remember one of the things. I've had a friend who said, their great manager who's supposed to be in charge of like operations and making sure every job gets done, they don't do it. And when he steps in to help him, all the jobs get done. It's like, what do you do when you have that? And I'm like, I know, because what normal people would say is like, well, you got to fire them, man. I know it's hard, but you got to fire them. But that's not true. You can't. because they're so freaking loyal. You can't get rid of loyal people. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe if like you were working at a company where like the revolving door of new hires was like constant, right? So like I used to work in the restaurant business, and there was a constant workflow of cooks. There was a constant flow of applicants is what I should say, not workflow. Constant flow of applicants for cooks, constant flow of applicants for servers. Like it never ends, right? It's like you open the store, boom, you'll have 4 applicants that same day. And then you stack it, you end up with a stack of applicants like this high, and then they still keep coming. So there's with this business, there is not a revolving door. There are little times where it's like you'll have, a bunch of people are asking for work like in April, March, stuff like that, but it's not constant. And then and in the restaurant you can have a lot of workers because you got a lot of tables, right? But if it's busy, but with us, we never really know if it's going to be busy. It's like at this point I have 7 mo guys. Hold on. Seven mo guys. And if a really good, that I know is a good mo guy comes in, I'll have to say, which somebody did come, yes, last week, a good, I don't know him personally, but I know where he works. And he says he worked there for 10 years. He knew how to use the machine that I had back there. That one, I truly do believe he would be good. Um, but I told him, I go, dude, I have 7 mo guys. It's slowing down. If I did bring you on, I mean, I might be able to keep you, 4 hours a day, maybe. And I may even have problems with the other mo guys, so I don't even know if I could do it, but I could put you on to train for at least 2 weeks and see what happens. And he said, nah, I can't do that. Like, I need to find somebody's going to hire me full time. And I go, all right, good. But he goes, but I know there's not much going on, but I can't take a chance. Time's running out. So I do have his phone number and stuff like that, but it's like I can't hire him, like, because we just, how it is. So I don't know. I kind of forgot what my thought was, to be honest with you. But I do know that when you have loyalty, that's more important than efficiency, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So going back to that Infinite Game book, loyalty, you've got workers that'll help you grow. And there are times where you could actually move responsibility from one person to another. I mean, that's for real. You can do that. But the problem is, a lot of times that's why we hire people, so that we don't have to do it. You know what I mean? Like right now, if I could full time do quality checks all day, I think I'd be in heaven. I really would love it because I feel productive. I feel like I'm contributing to the company in one way, which is building retention so people don't leave. So like if we get 10 new Mo customers, we'll have 10 more Mo customers next week, not same level of where we were at the week before, which is kind of like something that's just really eating at me. It's been eating at me all year, and we tried to combat that by having great quality. So we've instilled quality in all our workers, everything they do, and I feel like we've got that part down. The problem is, I think that customers think that this job is so easy that anybody can make it look good. And that's just not true. I don't care what anybody says. That's not true. You do have to to work at it. And I think that once I realized that that isn't enough to keep retention, just having great quality, we communicate as best we can. We actually need to meet the customer. I think that's what we got to do, and it's going to be hard. But you know, those 10 that I looked at on Thursday, I don't need to look at those 10 again for like at least another month. You know what I mean? If I can go to every property once a month, I think that that'll be a great job. You know? So I'm going to try to at least do that. What are you guys doing to try and build retention? I think that's a great topic. I think that would be a great topic. Is figuring out how to build retention. And if we could do that and keep our customers, it'd be crazy. So I've got 7 Mo guys, and we don't have them all stocked full of jobs because we just don't have that much work. So for the most part, we've got our veterans that we do give them pretty much the higher amount, and then the newer guys we have doing less. But I was very happy with the houses I looked at. There wasn't a house I looked at that I felt like the mow guy was bad. Now, truthfully, I think there was only two different mow workers that those 10 houses had. So I didn't get to look at everybody's yet, but I'm going to be doing that. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. I just wanted to check in, kind of just check in, let you know I'm still alive, you know. We were doing good for a little bit, right? Posting twice a week plus a live. And then things got nuts with financials. Things took a turn, so I had to focus on that. And when I focus on something, bro, I tend to like only focus on that. And so that's what I did. But I think we're past it now. I think I'm doing good. I feel great. I can kind of see what I don't know what the word is, but like cash flow is doing. I feel good about what it's doing. I can kind of, because I've been focusing on numbers and money and also customer service, okay, stuff like that. But you know, the thing that was really stressing me out was like because things weren't so, like revenue wasn't coming in like it normally was. I had to, it forced me to take a step back and look under the hood at how we're doing financially. Really, like if we had no revenue coming in for a whole month, how would we be, right? Like I had to look at that kind of stuff just for fun. And I did not like it, but I like what's going on. And I've basically had enough meetings with my office manager to feel like she understands what's going on here. And when we're both talking, we'll have a meeting a couple times a week where we'll talk about it, and she knows what I'm doing, and it's great knowing that she agrees with that plan. And she even says, yeah, then we've got the snow revenue coming in, and a percentage of that should go to this, a percentage of that should go to that, and then we should be good. And I'm like, I know, yes, that's my plan. That is the plan. So I feel like things are going good with the use of less credit cards. So this is probably in 4 to 6 years since I've used less credit cards than ever before. I mean, for the most part, I'm only using credit for like emergencies, which happen every day, right? Oh, yeah. It happens every day. Like, and what I call emergency right now is like my fertilizer guy says, "Hey, I need fertilizer or I need weed killer. I don't have any." Okay, that's an emergency. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you fertilizer. And if I don't have the cash in hand, I will use my card because that has to keep running. I've had to pick up some equipment that I didn't have any money in cash in the cash account. Not that I would use cash, I'd use a debit card, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I gotta fix this equipment. This grandstand has to be fixed, or else we're gonna be in trouble. So I would use a credit card for that. And so I have been using it, but not for everything like I used to always do. And so it's really nice getting in the habit of it because I'm starting to get used to it, and I'm starting to see myself get better at it, which is something when I first started doing it 6 weeks ago, I felt like I wasn't going to get good at it. Like I was so worried about it. But it's the same. It's just, I'm not, you know what I mean? I just got to, it's just a way of thinking, and there's a lot of stuff I still need to do to get those cards paid off. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that kind of stuff that I got to work on. But for the most part, I'm feeling good about the new financial system of having a month's or 2 months worth of bills in an account, so at least you can kind of relax and go, you know what, for the next 2 months I'm good. Right now I'm only good for 1 month, but we do have a plan to be good for 2 months. And I could just imagine when I'm at that position, I'll be able to say, wow, we're good for the next 2 months, and we're obviously going to be making money for the next 2 months. So I'll be able to put money aside and maybe get it to where we're like 3 months or back to 2 months. Every month be at 2 months ahead. That's great. That would be great. I'd be happy with that. Honestly, I'd be happy with 1 month. But it would be nice to go further out and then do the same kind of thing with payroll. See, I'm not talking about payroll, just the regular bills. But that's kind of what's been consuming my mind and how I've been doing it and how I've been thinking about it and planning it for it. It's all soaking in. It's something that for me, when I'm making such a big change with myself in the business, I have to like soak in it for a while and figure out, okay, I don't comprehend it fully, so I need to kind of like sit in it for a while. And I've been doing that, and I've been coming out with more clarity. So that's what's going on. As far as the business going up and down, I feel like it went from going down to like flatlining a little bit. Not all the way down, not flatline dead wise, but like I'm in neutral right now. Like things are good. Things are good. I feel good. I'm not stressed. I'm sleeping better. I don't think I'm gnawing my teeth anymore. So, and it's all because I just want to be stressed. It's all because I want to be prepared, is why I was stressed, because I didn't have like bill collectors or missing payroll or anything like that. I just saw it coming if I didn't make any changes. So I was able to make the changes, didn't really understand how it was going to work out, but now that I've been in it for a while, about 6 weeks, I feel really great about it. All right, guys. Well, that's about it for now. I just wanted to check in. Thanks everybody who said, hey, how's it going? Stuff like that. Hope you have a good week. Enjoy the weekend. I'm gonna enjoy the weekend. This is my first Saturday that I don't have any workers out working, and I feel good about it. All right, guys. Talk to you later.